My daily tormentor at the gym watched someone else tear me apart at the holiday party. She stepped in claiming I was already taken. The gym's holiday party invitation said they'd really appreciate member attendance to celebrate our fitness community, which obviously meant show up or get side-eyed by staff for the next 6 months. So there I was watching Alexis hold court by the protein shake bar in a designer athletic dress that cost more than my car payment. For 8 months, she'd been my personal tormentor, making loud observations about my form whenever I tried to exercise and somehow always needing whatever equipment I touched immediately after I touched it. Tonight, she was explaining to her disciples why people who couldn't do real push-ups were wasting everyone's oxygen while making direct eye contact with me across the candy cane decorated weight room. You're that person who does those sad little half reps on the leg press, said a voice like gravel being fed through a blender. I turned to find this absolutely massive woman in a beast mode tank top with a tiny name sticker on it that said Tanya, staring at me like I'd personally insulted her entire bloodline by existing. I've been watching you during my trial week, and honestly, it's embarrassing that they let people like you contaminate the equipment that actual athletes need to use. She moved closer until I could smell the pre-workout on her breath and feel the heat radiating off her 6-foot frame. You're exactly what's wrong with commercial gyms today. People like you treat this place like social hour instead of doing real work, and frankly, your presence here is an insult to everyone who actually understands what intensity means. She grabbed my upper arm and squeezed just hard enough to make her point. I bet you're one of those people who takes gym selfies to pretend you actually work out while the rest of us are here bleeding for our gains. You know what? Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be here when you arrive, and we're going to have a real workout session where I personally supervise every pathetic rep until you either quit this gym forever or literally collapse. Her grip tightened as she leaned down to whisper, and honestly, I'm hoping for collapse. My chest tightened as everyone stared, including the manager who suddenly found his phone fascinating. But what really caught my attention was Alexis's face transforming from smug satisfaction to something absolutely feral. She abandoned her followers mid-sentence and crossed the room in 3 strides, positioning herself directly between me and Tanya like a pitbull who just saw someone touch their favorite chew toy. I'm sorry, but who exactly are you and why are you talking to my project? Alexis asked in this sugary sweet voice. Tanya laughed and said she was a competitive powerlifter here to elevate this gym's pathetic standards, and she didn't need permission to point out obvious weakness. Oh, sweetie, no, that's where you're confused, Alexis said while examining her nails like we weren't in the middle of an absolute territorial crisis between 2 apex predators fighting over prey rights. See, I've been carefully cultivating this particular disaster for 8 months now, and I know every single one of their physical limitations because I personally documented them. She smiled this unhinged smile that usually meant someone had taken her squat rack without asking. I know their max bench is 45 pounds on a good day, and I know they think those are real burpees, and I know they cry on the Stairmaster after 3 minutes because that's my entertainment, and you don't get to just walk in here with your trial membership thinking you can harvest what I've been growing. The room had gone completely silent except for Mariah Carey's Christmas remix. Are you seriously claiming ownership over bullying this person? Tanya stepped forward trying to use her size advantage, but Alexis didn't even flinch. Instead, she moved closer until they were almost nose to nose despite the height difference. Ownership is such an ugly word, but yes, this one is mine to psychologically destroy, and I don't share. She turned to look at me with those crazy eyes, then turned back to Tanya and said, you think you can just walk in here day 1 and jump straight to generic weight shaming without earning it through consistent observation and detailed documentation of their specific failures? Tanya's face went through several shades of purple, while the party guests formed a circle like we were about to cage fight next to the holiday cookie table, and I seriously contemplated whether I could make it to the emergency exit before this got worse. Back up before you learn why I have a lifetime ban from 2 other gym chains, Alexis said in a voice so calm it was terrifying, while her hand moved to her hip where I noticed for the first time she had her car keys positioned between her fingers like claws. This is my gym, and that's my victim, and I've invested too much time breaking down their self-esteem with precision strikes to let some random nobody with basic insults steal my hobby. So either find a different target or find a different gym, but this one belongs to me. The manager finally remembered he had a job and announced the party was ending immediately for emergency equipment maintenance, while Alexis stood there still vibrating with territorial rage, and Tanya actually took a step back, probably realizing this 5'0" woman was legitimately unhinged enough to fight her. As everyone filed out, she grabbed my arm and hissed, "You're mine tomorrow at 6 a.m. for legs, and if she shows up again, you tell her you're already taken because I don't share my toys."